Item 1, election of mayor of the borough. The motion that Councillor Nadeem Ahmed be hereby elected mayor of the borough of the municipal year 2026-27. Councillor Ash Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've got one of the easiest jobs in the reading this motion that Councillor Nadeem Ahmed should become the mayor for the year 26-27 feels like the natural order of things. I've learned a lot from Nadeem as a colleague and as the leader of our group, and I feel that learning will continue for all of us across this chamber as he brings a wealth of experience, having served a shocking 22 years as a councillor. I think he started when he was 9 years old. He has also been the mayor before and has been a member of another political party, but we won't dwell on that. Nadeem sets a great example of tolerance, listening and balanced arguments, all great attributes to have as he faces the challenge of chairing our meetings and dealing with all of us. However, challenges aside, Nadeem will bring kindness to the role of first citizen of our borough and will have my support along with that of his wife and children and hopefully all other councillors. With a busy schedule ahead, juggling his working life as a respected solicitor and the demands of travelling the borough wearing those robes, I hope that his family will allow him control of the TV remote so that he can watch his cherished Manchester United. So it gives me great pleasure to move this motion this evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Astad Mahmood to second it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, councillors, distinguished guests, good evening. It is a privilege and a pleasure this evening to second the nomination of Councillor Nadeem Ahmed as the Mayor of Pendle. The role of Mayor is one that carries great dignity and importance within our borough. The Mayor represents this council at its very best, welcoming visitors, supporting charities and community groups, recognising achievements and bringing people together across every part of our community. Councillor Ahmed embodies those qualities fully, and throughout his time on this council, he has shown unwavering commitment to public service. What makes Councillor Nadeem Ahmed particularly suited to this role, and as has been touched on, he has previously been the Mayor of Pendle in 2011-2012, so he has a lot of experience in that. And very few elected members have ever done this role twice. You probably could count on your hands for this borough. Mr. Mayor, Councillor Ahmed connects with people from all backgrounds. He understands the importance of community spirit and the value of recognising the contributions made every day by volunteers, local organisations, businesses and residents who make our borough such a special place. I have no doubt that they will carry out the duties of Mayor and Mayoress with distinction, warmth and professionalism, and they will be excellent ambassadors for the council throughout their term of office.
Supported by Councillor Lola Whip.
Thank you. It's with great pleasure I support Councillor Nadeem Ahmed in becoming Mayor of Pendle. As I'm sure you're all aware, he will be the last Mayor of Pendle of this borough, and I hope that he gives the office, and in fact I know he will give the office as being the last one, the respect it deserves and serve as council well. Am I wrong? Thank you.
Councillor Yasser Iqbal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, it gives me great pleasure to support this motion. I've known Councillor Ahmed for about 15 years when I first entered politics. When I was the Mayor of Deputy Mayor of Bradfield, Councillor Ahmed was then the Mayor of Pendle. And he was someone, when I was very fresh in politics, that I could always turn to for support and assurance. And he was always supportive when we met at events all them years ago. I think one thing which can be said about Councillor Ahmed, and I'm sure everyone will agree in this chamber, and certainly his guests will, is that he's a nice person. I think everyone agrees on that point. He gets on with everyone. He wears his heart on his sleeves. You will know if he's not happy with you because, and I've experienced this myself many times in this chamber, when we have debated on very heated issues in this chamber, and we've not always agreed, but after the debates we go outside and it's nothing personal, and there is that mutual respect that's always been there. And I think that's not just with me, I think that's with everyone in this chamber. Councillor Ahmed, of course, as Councillor Sutcliffe alluded to, is a very well-known local conveyancing solicitor. And there are probably very few people in this area that he hasn't worked for. One thing that perhaps he can do, Mr. Mayor, this time around is add an extra service to his conveyancing role. Perhaps offer the people a chance for him to cut ribbons when he completes on their house. Maybe if it's a free service that he offers this time around. But Councillor Ahmed also has set a trend. I think the Councillor Asjad Mahmood said that there's very few people that haven't been the mayor twice. But of course, we know that now the new Deputy Mayor, Mr. Councillor Newman, the Deputy Mayor-elect, I'm not sure if Councillor Olowip was giving some breaking news that Councillor Ahmed is going to be the last mayor. In fact, he's going to be the second to last mayor because Councillor Newman will become the last mayor. But also, as I said, he set a trend because Councillor Sajid Ahmed is also going to become the mayor of Briarfield a second time. So he's obviously a trendsetter. But Mr. Mayor, one of the things which gives me the greatest pleasure in moving this motion and supporting Councillor Ahmed is that when he takes his seat as the mayor, he will not be the Conservative mayor, he will be an independent mayor. So like I've offered to his colleague, my good friend Councillor Stone, on many occasions, I extend my hand again to Councillor Ahmed. If he wants to join the independent team, he's very welcome to join the PTI group in particular. But in all seriousness, Mr. Mayor, in all honesty, having done this role, anyone that can do a full-time job like he has, quite a demanding job, and fulfil the role of a mayor has my utmost respect, and I wish him the best of luck throughout his year, and I'm sure with his experience of being the mayor before that he'll thoroughly enjoy it, and I will, whenever I can, support him and the office as much as I can. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Sarah.
I would just like to offer my congratulations to Councillor Ahmed. When we first came to live in this area, we went to Trawton Show, and we were shown to a table in the sort of president's tent, and we were so impressed to be sitting on the table of the actual mayor. And little did I know that I would know this mayor in the years to come. But they soon realised that we were usurpers and we weren't grand enough to sit with the actual mayor, so they bumped us down and we sat with the community champion from Astor instead, and she was delightful and she still is. So that was the first time that I met Councillor Ahmed, and what a fleeting but lovely impression that he made. And then of course he rightly joined the Conservative group and then subsequently became our leader and was just the most wonderful, kind, calm, inspiring person. Such a busy life as a solicitor. He would often ring me walking at home at lunchtime and in the road he'd be telling me things about Policy and Resources Committee, and then people would stop him and they'd speak to him about roads or whatever else, and he'd have to wait a minute, and the conversations were very long. They weren't long with me, but they were long because so many people stopped him and wanted to hear his counsel. So that's obviously how loved he is in this area, and he's loved by our group. And so when our group had the chance to choose, because you get to choose as a group and to discuss who could be mayor, I said, you know what? Councillor Ahmed has been a councillor for so many years, 22 years. It's actually time for him to be a councillor again. And what a wonderful thing now his family are older to really, really appreciate it. It's an incredibly long service for such a very young man still, and we're all the better for it, and so very grateful. So I look forward to the year ahead, and I shall be inviting you to loads of things. Trish, I know Trish has sort of stepped back a little bit, but I shall be inviting you to SIAG, and I'm inviting you to the Pendle Heritage Centre. There'll be so many occasions that I look forward to sharing with you in the year ahead.
All those in favour of Councillor Nadeem Ahmed to be hereby elected Mayor of the Borough of the Municipal Year 2026-27? That's carried. Thank you.
I, Nadeem Ahmed, having been elected to the office of Mayor, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Pendle Borough Council. Civic guests, fellow councillors, officers of the council, honoured friends and family members, welcome to you all and thank you for all being here on this very special occasion. May I start by expressing my personal thanks to the retiring Mayor, Councillor Mohammed Amr, who has had a very successful year. We have worked together very well and I've been honoured to deputise for him when called upon. Thank you to all the councillors who kindly moved, seconded and supported the motion to install me as the Mayor of Pendle. Can I say a special thank you to the Conservative group for their support. Thank you in anticipation to the new Deputy Mayor and Deputy Mayoress, Councillor Brian Newman and Mrs Lynn Newman. I'm sure we will work well together. I know I will be able to rely on my experienced mayoral team, Fiona, my secretary, and Trish, my attendant, to guide us through the year. I stand before you with immense pride, humility and gratitude as I take on the role of First Citizen of Pendle for the second time. To be entrusted with this office once is a tremendous honour. To be given the opportunity to serve again, 15 years later, is something truly special. And something I never imagined when I first wore the mayoral chain during my previous term as Mayor in 2011-2012. Although I must admit, 15 years later, the chain feels slightly heavier. Or perhaps that's just an age thing, and age is catching up with me. Today is not just a ceremonial occasion for me, it is deeply personal. As I reflect on this journey, I think about how much life has changed since I first became Mayor all those years ago. Back then, I could never have imagined the experiences, challenges, joys and responsibilities that lay ahead. One of the most significant moments in my life came in 2011, shortly before I was due to become Mayor in 2011 for the first time, when my late father sadly passed away. Losing him was one of the most painful experiences of my life. My father was not simply my parent, he was my role model, my teacher, my mentor, and the person who shaped the values by which I have tried to live my life. He taught me the importance of honesty, humility, hard work, and treating every person with dignity and respect. He believed deeply in helping others and serving the communities regardless of background, status or belief. He was a man of quiet strength and integrity. Many of the values that guide me today, both in public life and private life, came directly from him. Even now, 15 years later, I still think about him every day. There are moments in life when you realise how much a person shaped your future. That person was my father. I often reflect on the sacrifices he made for our family, the lessons he taught me growing up, and the encouragement he gave me throughout my life. I only wish he could have been here today to witness this moment. But although he is no longer physically with us, his guidance and his values remain with me every single day. As I stand here today, preparing to serve Pendle once again as Mayor, I hope he will be proud of the man I've become and proud of the service I continue to give to our community. Public service and community involvement have always been important within my family. My family background has deep roots in politics and public service in Pakistan, particularly in my ancestral village of Johra, where family members have held the honour title of Mayor for generations, acting as the primary bridge between the local community, district administration and the police. A belief of helping others, representing communities and standing up for fairness and justice. Those values travelled with our family and became part of our upbringing here in Pendle. My own journey began here in Nelson, a town I remain incredibly proud to call home until recently, and then moving to Barrowford a few years ago. I attended Whitefield Primary School, where I served as a school governor, Lomshire Junior School and Edge End High School, before continuing my education at Nelson-on-Colne College. I had ambitions and dreams, but I also understood the importance of hard work, education and perseverance. I later went on to study law in Manchester before completing my legal practice course in Chester College of Law. In 2001, I began my professional career as a solicitor at Robert Smith Solicitors here in Nelson. 25 years later, I remained there, proudly serving as a director of the firm. That journey means a great deal to me because it reflects the opportunities this borough can provide. Pendle is a place where ordinary people from hard-working backgrounds can build careers, raise families, and contribute positively to society. As a solicitor, I've had the privilege of helping people through some of the most important and difficult moments of their lives. I've seen people at their happiest moments and also during times of hardship and uncertainty. That experience has taught me empathy, patience, and understanding. Most importantly, it has taught me that no matter who we are, where we come from, or what background we belong to, people fundamentally want the same things. We all want happiness in our families. We all want security and opportunity for our children. We all want dignity, respect, fairness, and hope for the future. And that is why I believe so strongly in unity. In a world where division and negativity can sometimes dominate public life, we must never lose sight of our shared humanity. We are far more similar than we are different. In Pendle, we are blessed to live in a diverse community made up of people from different cultures, backgrounds, and faiths. But diversity should never divide us. It should strengthen us. Different communities, different traditions, and different perspectives enrich our borough and make Pendle the vibrant place that it is. What matters most is not the colour of someone's skin, the faith they follow, or the language they speak at home. What matters is the content of their character, how they treat others, and the contribution they make to society. We must continue building bridges between communities rather than barriers. We must continue showing respect to one another, even when we may disagree. And we must continue teaching future generations that kindness, understanding, and compassion are far stronger than hatred or division. Because the truth is simple, we are stronger together than we could ever be apart. That is one of the most important messages I want to promote during my mayoral year. A message of unity, a message of respect, a message that every person in Pendle matters. And a message that no matter what our differences, this borough belongs to all of us. My own journey in politics and public service began more than 20 years ago when I was first elected as a councillor in 2004. Since then, I've had the honour of serving the people of Pendle in a number of different roles, including previously serving as leader of Pendle Council and continue to serve as chairman of Barrowford and Western Parishes Area Committee, where I was re-elected last week. Those years have given me a deeper understanding of the challenges facing local communities, but they have also shown me the incredible resilience, generosity and spirit of the people of this borough. I've also learned many valuable lessons. For example, I've learned that no matter how long a council meeting lasts, somebody will always say, "Just one final point, Mr. Chairman." I worked alongside dedicated councillors from all political parties, hard-working officers, volunteers, charities, faith groups, local businesses and residents who all share one common goal, wanting the very best for Pendle. I would also like to pay tribute tonight to my mother, with whom I live. My elderly mother has suffered with ill health, and watching someone you love face those challenges is never easy. Despite her difficulties, she continues to be a source of strength, wisdom, and love for our family. The sacrifices mothers make throughout their lives often go unnoticed, but I know that without her support, encouragement, and prayers, I would not be standing here today. To my wife, Ruxana, who will serve as Mayoress during this coming year, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Public service requires patience, understanding, and sacrifice not only from the individual serving in office, but from their entire family. You have stood beside me through every challenge and every success, and your support means more than words can ever express. To my children, you are my greatest pride, my greatest joy, my greatest motivation. Being a father has changed my life completely. My youngest child, Hamza, has Down syndrome. And that journey has taught me lessons that no position of title ever could. It has taught me patience, it has taught me compassion, it has taught me resilience. It's also opened my eyes to the incredible challenges faced by families caring for children with additional needs, as well as the extraordinary strength shown by those children themselves. Every child deserves to feel valued, every child deserves opportunity, and every child deserves to be included and respected, regardless of ability or circumstance. This is one of the reasons why during our mayoral year, the Mayoress's Charity Appeal Fund will be supporting the East Lancashire Down Syndrome Support Group, whose work supporting children and families across our area is truly remarkable. I'm also proud to support Pendleside Hospice, an organisation that provides dignity, compassion and care to families during some of the most difficult moments of their lives. Many families across Pendle and East Lancashire have been touched by their extraordinary work, and we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to their staff and volunteers. In addition, we will be supporting the NK Foundation, whose work reflects the values of compassion, generosity and community spirit that are so important to me. These charities are not just organisations to me, they represent kindness in action. They represent ordinary people doing extraordinary things to help others. And they remind us all that society is strongest when we care for those who are vulnerable or in need. We hope to raise awareness, promote volunteering, and raise as much funds for our chosen charities as possible. Pendle is a truly special borough. It is a borough filled with hard-working people, proud traditions, beautiful countryside, strong communities, and remarkable resilience. Most importantly, Pendle is filled with good people. People who quietly volunteer without recognition. People who help neighbours during difficult times. People who work tirelessly to support their families. People who show compassion even when facing struggles of their own. Those people are the strength of our borough. As Mayor, I want this to be the year when we continue to bring communities together, a year where we celebrate not only diversity, but also the values that unite us, a year where we support our young people and value our elderly, a year where kindness and respect remain at the heart of everything we do, and a year where every resident, regardless of background, feels respected, included and valued. Because at the end of the day, we all share some hopes. We all share the same hopes for our families, our communities, and our future. And that future will always be brighter if we build it together. To the councillors and residents of Pendle, thank you once again for placing your trust in me. To serve as Mayor once was a privilege. To serve for a second time is an honour beyond words. As I begin this new chapter, I do so carrying with me the values instilled in me by my late father, the love and prayers of my mother, the support of my wife and children, and the encouragement of my family, friends, colleagues, and community. I promise to serve this borough with humility, dedication, compassion, and pride. And I hope that throughout this mayoral year, together we can continue showing that Pendle is strongest when we stand united. And as the motto on the Pendle Council coat of arms reads, in unitate florescimus, which means in unity we shall flourish. Thank you very much. So we'll now move on to the contents of the meeting. So item 2 is minutes of the previous meeting. So I'll move them as a true record. Second, Councillor Ashton. Thank you. So all those in favour, please show. Thank you. Yeah, that's carried. Thank you. Lost my notes because I was going to introduce, just for colleagues, I just want to welcome all the new councillors and welcome back the councillors who retained their seats at the May 2026 elections. I want to take this opportunity to welcome our newly elected councillors, Councillor Bashir, McCullum, Councillor Saqib, Waddington, Whitehead and Whittaker. We also welcome back re-elected councillors Sajjad Ahmed, Councillor Ammer, Councillor Church and Councillor Stone. Thank you. Item 3 is a vote of thanks to the retiring Mayor. Can I call upon Councillor Mohammed Iqbal? Yes, fine. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr Mayor, I'd like to first of all congratulate you on your appointment as our Mayor, and I wish you and the Mayoress all the very best for the coming year.
Thank you.
And as Councillor Yasser Iqbal has said, we'll have some heated debates, but I'm sure you'll keep him in check and allow me to speak as I want. Mr Mayor, how quickly time goes by. I remember only 12 months ago moving the motion that Councillor Mohammed Ammer be elevated to the position of Mayor of our great borough. I said at the time he would be a great Mayor, and indeed he has done us all proud. I've attended many events where Ammer has presided over across Pendle, and his civic leadership has shone through, making not only me and fellow councillors proud, but I'm sure his parents and extended family are proud of him, albeit I'm sure his children will be happiest now that they can see the dad more often. But Mr Mayor, this is about your evening this evening, and on behalf of the whole council, can I thank Ammer and his wife for their fantastic year in office. I move the motion.
Thank you. Second, Councillor Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Congratulations on your elevation. There are two things about being a mayor from my point of view. One is to highlight and to strengthen societies and clubs and things that go sort of under the radar across Pendle. And I think that one of the things that you've done is to highlight those probably better than anyone else recently, because I see your face crop up on Facebook when I'm scrolling, and you're always smiling. It's a joy to see. So thank you for all that work in highlighting those causes. And the other one is, of course, handling all of us in this chamber. And you've always done that with respect and kindness. So thank you. I'm second that.
So the motion is that the best thanks of the council be hereby tendered to Councillor Mohammed Ammer and his Mayoress, Mrs Ghulam Kibriya, for their services as Mayor and Mayoress during the term of office. Can I call upon Councillor Ammer for his speech?
Mr. Mayor, Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. It has been a great honour and privilege to serve as the 50th Mayor and first citizen of Pendle. After serving as a councillor for the past 12 years, I believed I knew Pendle very well. But my year as Mayor has taught me even more about our borough, our communities, and the wonderful people who make Pendle such a special place. I have had the privilege of meeting so many inspiring people, community groups, volunteers, charities, and businesses who work tirelessly to support others and strengthen our communities. One of the highlights of the year was attending the Pendle Festival of Culture, which celebrated the diversity, talent, and community spirit that we are so fortunate to have across Pendle. I've also greatly enjoyed supporting both young and older members of our community throughout my mayoral year. I want to thank every single Pendle resident who welcomed me to events throughout the year. My chosen charities this year were Samaritans of Pendle, Burnley, Craven and Rosendale, and Darien House Children's Hospice. I am delighted to say that together we have raised £9,201 for these wonderful charities. I would like to sincerely thank everyone who donated, attended events, sponsored activities, and supported our fundraising efforts throughout my mayoral year. The generosity shown by local businesses, organizations, and residents has been truly outstanding. I would also like to thank two very important people who have supported me throughout this year. Fiona, for her hard work, organisation and constant support, and Trish, where you going there, who has accompanied me so many times in events with kindness, professionalism and good humour. I could not have carried out this role without both of you, and I thank you sincerely. Before I finish, I would like to offer my warmest congratulations and best wishes to our incoming Mayor. I know he will serve the people of Pendle with dedication, pride and commitment, and I wish him every success for the year to come. Finally, I would like to thank my fellow councillors, council officers, friends, family and everyone who has supported me during this mayoral year. Serving as your mayor has been an honour that I will treasure. Thank you very much.
Next, item 4 on the agenda is appointment of Deputy Mayor, and the mover for this is Councillor David Hartley.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and congratulations on your elevation to a new post as Mayor. I first met Councillor Brian Newman at a memorial service for my late uncle, who actually served 2 terms as Mayor. I believe he was the first person to do so, the late Kenneth Hartley, who was a great friend of Councillor Newman. I then met him in an official capacity as he came to open our Chapel of Rest and at the same time get measured for a wooden overcoat. We've still got it in the shop when you need it. Okay. I could think of very few people that I can put forward to stand as Assistant Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and also then to be go on to be Pendle's last Mayor. And I know that Brian will serve with impartiality, dignity and dedication. And plus Councillor Brian, and I would like to know this, his friends can call him Miss Sheepdog Newman, looks good in gold, red and black. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hartley. And the second is Councillor Hanif.
On your position.
Thank you.
I would like to second, obviously, the Councillor Newman as the Deputy Mayor for this year. I've known Brian ever since he started. Very humble, down to earth, very positive, always smiling. And I think you had a wonderful Mayor year, and you're going to next year be an excellent Mayor again. So we're looking forward to this year with the Nadeem and next year to yourselves. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So the motion is that Councillor Brian Newman be hereby appointed Deputy Mayor for the Borough for the municipal year 2026-27. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. So that's carried. So that's carried. Yeah, Mr. President. Yeah. Time up. Yeah. Very uncomfortable.
Yes, I've been here before, so I will read out this declaration. Brian Newman, having been appointed to the office of Deputy Mayor, declare that I will, take upon myself and will truly and faithfully fill the duties of becoming one of the best in my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code and to the conduct and the expectation of members of Pendle Borough Council, which I will now sign. Thank you. Yes?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's up to you. What do you think? It's fine. Okay. What are you comfortable with?
Okay. Right. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to congratulate you once again
Thank you.
for your new year,
Thank you.
and I wish you all the best. I'd like to start by congratulating you on your appointment again. Okay. Like you said, to be given the opportunity to serve again is something truly special. And I myself totally agree. I'm really looking forward to supporting you as your deputy, and I know we will make a good team over your mayoral term of office. I am grateful to my wife Lynn for agreeing to be my deputy mayoress again. We've had a few words about this, I'm afraid. As it is traditional for the deputy mayor, I will keep my speech tonight very short. So I'll finish this by saying that that I look forward to supporting you, Mr. Mayor and Mayoress, throughout the year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brian.
You're welcome.
Next item we have is the Mayor's allowance, and the mover is Councillor Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I move the motion as set out? Thank you.
Yeah. The seconder is Councillor Mahmood.
Second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, all those in favour, please show. Okay, anybody against? No. Okay, so that's carried. Next item is item 6, appointment of Mayor's Chaplain. And I, Nadeem Ahmed, being the Mayor of Pendle for the municipal year 2026-27, do hereby appoint Reverend Nick Murray and Imam Qari Khalid Mahmood Saab to act as the Mayor's chaplains during my year of office. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So that concludes the first part of this meeting. The guests who are here, you're free to leave should you wish to. The meeting is going to commence in about 5-10 minutes, so we'll have a short adjournment. So, yeah. So we'll see you back in 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
worship the Mayor of Pendle, Councillor Nadine Allred.
Okay. Please be seated. Yeah. Here we go. Dorothy. Shall we start? I think we'll start. Yeah. Okay, thank you, councillors. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll make a start. So item 7 is declarations of interest. Does any councillor have an interest to declare? Councillor Mahmood?
I'd like to declare interest in item agenda E, the Palantir in our NHS motion, because I work for the NHS. I don't know whether that's personal prejudicial.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay. Thank you. Item 8 is appointment of the Leader of the Council and the Executive. Do we have a mover? Councillor Iqbal?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Can I move Councillor Ashdad Mahmood as Leader of the Council?
Thank you. Yeah, is there a seconder? Councillor Lord, yeah. Thank you. Any other nominations? No. Okay. So that's been moved and seconded as Councillor Ashdad Mahmood as Leader of the Council. All those in favour, please show. Okay. Anybody against? No. So that's carried. So Councillor Mahmood is elected as Leader of the Council. Congratulations. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Item B is appointment of Deputy Leader. Of course, yeah.
Mr Mayor, may I congratulate you again on your election as first citizen of the borough, and I do hope that you have a wonderful mayoral year. May I also congratulate Councillor Newman on his appointment. Good luck to you both. Congratulations to all those councillors who have been elected for the first time and those re-elected. I want to thank my family for their continued present support. My gratitude to them all. I want to thank the outgoing Mayor, Councillor Mohammed Amr, for a fantastic year representing everyone in our towns and communities. Thank you to former Leader of the Council, Councillor David Whip, for his service and contribution to this Council and local government. He served on this Council continuously for approximately 46 years. It was almost when this Council was formed, and he was probably one of the longest serving councillors in the whole country. And this council chamber will miss his experience and knowledge. He was most proud of setting up the area committees, which we now cherish, giving the local voice to local people. And David was instrumental with the flood defences in Aby and Gill area of Barnoldswick. And David has been very active within the local town councils in Barnoldswick and other events throughout Pendle. David has been someone to go to for help with any local issues. My big thank you, and on behalf of the council, a big thank you to David. I am proud to have been elected again as leader of Pendle Borough Council, and I'm grateful to those councillors that supported my nomination. Thank you. Acknowledging the nature of our politics at Pendle, I am pleased that our shared administration of the council with the Liberal Democrat group has come together to provide the bold leadership necessary to drive forward this council's key policy initiatives. We demonstrated earlier this year when proposing, agreeing and delivering a balanced budget, council budget for 2026-27, that working together to skew the best outcomes for the residents of the borough is the best approach, and I'm keen to ensure that doing remains at the heart of what we do. As you'll be aware, as leader of the council, it is my responsibility to appoint both the deputy leader and the executive. To that end, I'm pleased to make the following appointments. Councillor Lola Whip, which I know is officially on the agenda on the next item, as deputy leader of the council. And I will give the names for the executive names in due course. And of course, it is normal practice to allocate portfolios to members of the executive, so I will make details of portfolios available also in due course. Mr. Mayor, I am confident that the stability of our leadership of this council will help us to build on the significant achievements we have made in the last couple of years. Just by way of reminder, we steered the local plan to final adoption in December, ensuring that the borough has in place this overarching strategy to guide economic, housing and other development in the borough. Much progress was made on Nelson Town deal, notably with the councillor finally taking ownership of Pendle Rise. Having appointed a contractor to demolish the buildings and clear the site, I am pleased that plans are progressing for a new retail offer in Nelson Town Centre. The Nelson Pride in Place programme, a 20 million programme over the next 10 years, kicked off with approval from the government to the plans put forward by Pride in Place Board. We have completed the Levelling Up Fund programme in Colne, with the opening of Colne Market Hall as planned earlier this month. The Levelling Up programme also included the creation of a new heritage quarter, the Little Theatre, Hippodrome, the Colne Muni, which opened last year. And in addition to the 6.5 million government funding, we as Pendle Council have also invested 1.9 million into those Colne programmes. And with our joint venture partners at Barnfield, Northlight in Bryfield was completed with the company responsible for it, Pearl Bryfield Mill, being wound up as we speak as a result of the end of this scheme. This development is a testament to what can be achieved with vision, hard work, determination, matched only by the resilience of the many people who have been involved in this fantastic regeneration project. Climate change remains a key priority in our corporate plan, and we will continue to work hard on this important issue. We have invested millions in our leisure centres, and this year we have allocated approximately 2.8 million in our work programme. The UK Prosperity Fund has delivered funding of 5.3 million over the last couple of years, including in Earby, Barnoldswick, Bryfield and Colne. We have also successfully introduced the food waste programme throughout Pendle. But I am not one to dwell on the past. With the prospect of local government reorganisation and the abolition of this council in March 2028, we must redouble our efforts to ensure that the outcomes we all want for the residents of Pendle get delivered. With the support of our colleagues in the Liberal Democrat group, we will work with our partners, Brookhouse Development, and through our joint venture Penbrook Limited, complete the demolition of former Pendle Rise and start the redevelopment of the cleared site. As I said earlier, the new development will significantly enhance the retail offer in Nelson Town Centre. We will start the redevelopment of Trafalgar House following the planning consent given earlier this year. Working with Lancashire County Council, we will complete the accessible Nelson works, hopefully bringing an end to the roadworks in Nelson, but more importantly, providing the opportunities to encourage healthier lifestyles. We'll support the Nelson Pride in Place Board to deliver the Pride in Place projects in Nelson, particularly as the investment ramps up over the coming years. We will deliver, in partnership with others, almost 75 projects under the Pride in Place Impact Fund. Ensure the Legacy Fund, agreed as part of the budget, is used effectively as possible by area committees and town and parish to deliver projects that will create a lasting legacy of this council for the residents of our borough. We will start the delivery of a new cemetery in Briarfield and other cemetery improvement works across the whole Pendle area, providing much needed burial spaces so that our communities can, at their choice, be laid to rest in their home borough for years to come. We will implement the Crisis Resilience Fund to ensure that most vulnerable people in our communities receive the support they need, whether that is when they are in crisis or to help them become more resilient so that they can withstand cost of living pressures. Progress plans for the transfer of assets to town and parish councils is also progressing. Indeed, the first tranche of assets for transfer will be considered at the meeting of the executive next week. We are providing £300,000 of extra funding for disabled facilities grants. We want to make sure that those who are struggling to manage everyday tasks at home get the support and adoptions they need as quickly as possible. We are investing in the future of local people. We are providing funding to take apprenticeships for local people, to give them the experience and knowledge to develop. Following on from the resolution of the Council at its last meeting, and indeed looking to the notice of motions on the agenda for this Council meeting, exploring what being a cooperative council may mean for the way in which we deliver services to our residents. And subject to the Government's decision on local government in Lancashire, we will continue to play whatever part is necessary in delivering local government reorganisation. Although I do continue to believe that 5 unitary authorities for Lancashire remains the best option. Mr Mayor, this coming year may probably prove to be seminal for the future of local government in Pendle, and it is my intention as leader of the council, with the support of the executive and indeed all of the councillors in this chamber, to ensure that above all the residents of this borough continue to get the best services that we can provide. They are supported where it is necessary for this council to do so, and they have the opportunities to prosper. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Leader. The next item is item 9, Local Government and Housing Act. This is political balance rules. So the balance rules have changed due to the elections, and we've had a sheet that's setting out the numbers. Is that okay? So that's just for information for members. So item 10 is appointment to committees. This is to consider the appointment of members to committees for the coming year. And the committees, various committees are listed on the pink sheet. So I think the process is for each group to give the names in to officers after the meeting. Councillor Lord.
Congratulations on being elevated to the top shelf, as I call it. I'd like to nominate Councillor Lola Whip for audit committee.
Is that for the chairman?
Oh, we're not on that yet.
No, not yet. That's the next item. Are you talking about the chairman of the committees? Yeah, I think that's the next item. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
so this is item 10. So all each group's got to do is give the nominations in to officers. Yeah.
Some of us can't hear.
Okay, apologies. Apologies. I'll speak louder.
Shout. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Is it not on? No.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
It's not on. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. So next item is appointment of chairman of committees, which is item 11. And the first committee is Accounts and Audit Committee. Councillor Lord.
Mr Mayor, congratulations on being elevated to the top shelf.
Thank you.
we'll start again. I'd like to nominate Councillor Lola Whip.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Thank you. That's been moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Audit. No. Okay. Sorry, Councillor Iqbal.
Mr Mayor, I think a council audit is quite an important committee, and I think Councillor Lola Whip will be busy with the leader, making sure the council is steered in the right direction. So I would ask her to reconsider her position, and if she's happy to withdraw, I think it should go to one of the opposition groups, and I was going to nominate Councillor Marion Atkinson.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and the advice I was given was if someone's serving on the executive committee, it's probably not sensible or wise anyway. But so that's fine. Thank you, Councillor Whip. Councillor Zafar Ali.
Can I second Councillor Iqbal's suggestion?
That's been moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? No. Okay. So that's been moved and seconded. We'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Okay. Okay. Against? No. Okay. Nobody. So that's carried. Councillor Atkinson is chairman of a council and audit committee. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next committee is Development Management Committee. Nominate Councillor Iqbal.
Mr Mayor, he's done an excellent job over the last 2 or 3 years. Can I re-nominate Councillor Mohammed Adnan?
That's fine. Is there a seconder?
I second it.
Seconder. That's been moved and seconded. Any other nominations? No. Okay, so that's been moved and seconded. We'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Against? The abstentions? No. So that's carried. Item C, Licensing Committee. Councillor Iqbal.
Mr Mayor, again, she's done an admirable job over the last couple of years. Can I re-nominate Councillor Yvonne Tennant?
Thank you. Seconder? Yeah, that's been moved and seconded. Sorry? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're on.
Yeah. All those in favour, please show. Okay, so that's carried. Item D, Overview and Scrutiny Committee. You nominate Councillor Iqbal?
Chairman, I think the Chairman of Overview and Scrutiny Committee has done, again, a good job trying to keep it non-political, and I'd re-nominate Councillor Chris Church.
Okay, is there a seconder? Thank you. Okay, any other nominations? No? Okay, so we'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Anybody against? No, so that's carried. Item E, Senior Management Appointments Committee. Councillor Iqbal.
Can I nominate the Leader of the Council, Councillor Ashad Mahmood?
Okay. Seconder. That's been seconded. Any other nominations? No. Okay, so that's been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please show. Anybody against? No, that's carried. Next item F is Taxi Licensing Committee. Councillor Iqbal.
Again, done a great job on taxi licensing, steering the committee through some great debates. Councillor Naeem Ashraf.
Okay, is there a seconder? Yeah, that's been seconded. Any other nominations? Councillor Whip.
Mr Mayor, I would like to nominate Councillor Brian Hartley as the chairman of the Taxi Licensing Committee.
Okay, thank you. Is there a seconder? That's been seconded as well. Anybody else? No? Okay. So, is it not the amendment first? Is it? Okay. All right, we'll go with the first Councillor Ashraf nomination. So all those in favour, please show. So we'll have to count it. Anybody against? So that's carried. So, yeah, Councillor Ashraf is the chairman of the Taxi Licensing Committee. The next item on the agenda is item 12, appointment to working groups. And we need to appoint working group or Councillor Ashad Mahmood. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. From our group, it will be myself, Councillor Mohammed Iqbal and Mohammed Hanif.
Councillor Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. From my group, it will be myself and Councillor David Coburn-Price.
Okay. Naeem Ashraf.
Councillor Yasserif back, please.
Okay. Lib Dems, yeah. Councillor Whip.
Myself and Councillor Dorothy Lord.
And from Reform.
Mr Mayor, can I congratulate you on your elevation, please?
Thank you.
And it will be myself.
That's great, thank you. We've had Pendle True independent groups as well, haven't we? Yeah, we've had everyone. Yeah, it's okay. So all those in favour, please show. So that's carried. Item 13 is dates of council meetings for 26, 27. The dates are on the sheet which has been circulated with the agenda item. So I'll move that. Second. Yeah, Councillor Newman has seconded that. Okay, so all those in favour, please show. That's fine, that's carried. Next is item 14, appointment of representatives on outside bodies. Councillor Mahmood.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. So I move, there's a new sheet that's been handed out. So I move, as set out, including, there's an additional item on Pendle Spinning Association on page 4, the last item.
Yeah, it might be easier if we just do it page by page. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, yeah, so move everything as it is on page 1.
Councillor Whip.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Can I nominate Councillor Chris Church for the Airedale General Hospital Foundation Trust? He's done an excellent job and he very much would like to continue with as well.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second
Yeah,
that.
it's been moved and seconded. Councillor Whitehead, yeah. Is there a seconder? That's been seconded. Yeah. Okay.
Let's take Councillor Church first.
Yeah, okay. So we've got 2 nominations. We'll take Councillor Church first. All those in favour of Councillor Church? Okay. Councillor Church, yeah. Anybody against? No, that's carried. Yeah, Councillor Church has been appointed. Okay.
Just on Citizens Advice, East Lancashire, we have 2 nominations.
Yeah. So on Citizen Advice, East Lancashire,
There's 2 nominations.
yeah, so we need 2 nominations here now, don't we?
There's 1 seat, but there's 2 nominations, so we need to vote.
Okay, yes, yep, yep. So we've got Councillor Hanif and Atkinson, so we'll take Councillor, all those in favour of Councillor Hanif. There's a seconder, sorry, shall I say first?
Seconder.
Citizens Advice, is that?
Is that one in it? Yeah, yeah. So that's been moved and seconded.
Tell them.
Yeah. So it's page by page, yeah. Because there's different amendments that are being moved. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go down. Let's go down.
Two
each
reps.
one.
Yeah, we'll have to just do each one because there's several being pointed out. Yeah.
Any other nominations for Burnley?
Yeah.
So what we're talking about?
So we're talking about citizen advice. No.
Let's start there.
All right. Okay. Berlin District. Yeah. Okay. We'll do one by one then. Okay. So Berlin District for the blind. We've got Councillor Hanif. Anybody else? Any nominations? No. Okay. So that's fine. Move on. Burnley Pendle and Rosedale CVS Board. We've got Councillor Hanif as the proposer. That's been proposed. Anybody else? No? Okay, so that's fine. Next one is Citizens Advice East Lancashire. We've got 2 nominations, Councillor Hanif and Atkinson. So we'll go...
Seconded.
Yeah, they've both been seconded. So we'll go with Councillor Hanif first. All those in favour, please show. So I think that will be... Yeah, that's carried. Yeah, okay. Councillor Hanif.
No nominations.
No nomination, that
Open
one.
up, open up.
And then we've got... Is it
Ask them about that.
Yeah. Forest of Bowland. We've got Councillor Brian Newman, who's...
Councillor
Councillor Whip.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to re-nominate Councillor Brian Newman. Thank you.
Okay. Seconder? Yeah, that's fine. Anybody else for that position? No? Okay, so that's moved and seconded. All those in favour, please show. Anybody against? No, that's carried.
So we don't need
Councillor
a vote.
Moon.
Yeah, we don't need a vote on that because we just need a Lib Dem councillor.
Yeah. Okay.
Just said.
Yeah, on the joint venture company Brookhouse, because it's one Conservative, one Lib Dem, and leader of the council, we just need somebody from the Lib Dems.
Myself, Mr Mayor.
Yeah, that's fine. Councillor Witt, that's fine. Thank you. Next, we've got joint venture company Pearl. So again, the same again on this one. So we need a representative from the Lib Dems.
Councillor Chris Church, Mr Mayor.
That's Chris Church. Thank you.
So,
Next one.
so that's
Scrooge. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yes, yes.
Yeah. So next one we've got is Lancashire County Council Health Scrutiny Committee. Yeah.
It's the leader plus, so the PCIs need to nominate somebody in place of the two Liberals that were on. I'm not sure who the leaders got down for that. No, Ashjad's the leader, then it's one from Pendle Community Independence in addition.
Yeah, Councillor Hanif. Yeah. 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 Okay. Lancashire County Council Health Scrutiny Committee. We've got Councillor Chris Church currently.
Renominate Councillor Chris Church, Mr Mayor.
Seconder. Second that. That's fine. Any other nominations? No? Okay, happy with that. All those in favour, please show. Councillor Church. Okay, so that's carried. Next is Lancashire Leader, so that's the leader of the council. Lancashire Police and Crime Panel. So we've got two nominations here, Councillor Sutcliffe and Councillor Atkinson. We'll take Councillor Sutcliffe first.
No, we've got Councillor Witt. Wants to come in.
Oh, Councillor Witt. Okay.
Mr Mayor, this position is appointed by political balance rules across the patch, and so I think it is appropriate that we have one nomination from each party and then use that nomination for whichever political balance is needed across the division. So I would like to put forward Councillor Brian Hartley from the Liberal Democrat group with a view that if there is a Liberal Democrat needed to politically balance the police and crime panel, that she be represented. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Iqbal.
If there's an issue of political balance, the Pendle Community Independence nomination is Councillor Faraz Ahmed.
Okay. Thank you. And we've already got Councillor Conservatives. I've got Councillor Sutcliffe. Reform, I've got Councillor Atkinson. So we just leave it to them, do we? Yeah.
Yeah, just by way of explanation.
Yeah.
Blackburn with Darwin Council will work out the political balance across Lancashire and then determine what we're short of. It may be that we have to come back just to determine which of those are.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Lancashire Waste Partnership. We've got two nominations, Councillor Zafar Ali and Councillor Waddington. We'll go. Councillor Iqbal.
Can I just say, I know Councillor Waddington's name has been given, but usually the Lancashire Waste Partnership is then attended by the Cabinet Member for Waste. And Councillor Zafar Ali has been the Cabinet Member previously to ensure that continuity.
Okay, thank you. Is there a seconder for Councillor Ali? Yeah, that's been seconded. And have we got a... We'll go with the vote first. Zafar Ali. Seconder for Councillor Waddington. Yeah, okay. So we'll go with Councillor Zafar Ali. All those in favour, please show. Okay, that's majority. That's carried. So Councillor Zafar Ali. Next is Local Councils Network. That's leader of the council. Likewise with the next one, Local Government Association. Nelson Town Deal Board. We need one Lib Dem councillor. Councillor Witt.
Mr Mayor, like last year, we give way to the other group to put someone instead, just so that someone from Pendle, someone from Nelson takes that position, as we feel that the Nelson Town Deal Board is more geographically centred than politically centred. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Iqbal.
It's Councillor Witt for that. Can I nominate Councillor Faraz Ahmed?
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Yeah, that's seconded. So all those in favour, please show. Everybody again, so that's carried. Next we have is Nelson Pride in Place, and it's Councillor Mahmood who's on the list. Everyone happy with that as a leader? Yeah, that's fine. Next one is a position for the Leader of the Council, which is North West Local Authorities Employers Organisation, so that's Councillor Mahmood. Pendle Hill Landscape Partnership Board, we've got Councillor Brian Newman. Everyone okay with that?
Renominate Councillor Brian Newman.
Thank you. So that's seconder. Yeah, that's fine. So all those in favour of Councillor Newman? Anybody against? No, that's carried. Next we have Pendle Public Private Partnership. And we need a Lib Dem councillor. Yeah.
Myself, Mr Mayor.
Thank you very much. Pendle Vision Board.
Mr. Mayor.
Sorry, Councillor.
Can we replace myself with Councillor Mohammed Ammer?
Is there a seconder?
It's just
Oh, Don, okay, right. Yeah. That's fine. Thank you. Pendle Vision Board. Lib Dem councillor on here.
Myself, Mr Mayor.
Okay. Everyone else happy? Pendle, we've got Sarah. We've got Councillor Corbyn. Yeah, we've got Councillor Corbyn Price, haven't we? Yeah, we've got. Yeah, okay, fine. And next we've got Pendle Community Safety Partnership Steering Group. Again, need a Lib Dem councillor.
Councillor Dorothy Lord, Mr Mayor.
Dorothy Lord, thank you. Everyone else happy on that one? Good. Next we've got is Pendle Leisure Trust Board. Lib Dem councillor.
Councillor Dorothy Lord, Mr Mayor.
Keep you busy, Dorothy. Yeah, thank you. Pendle Twinning Association. Councillor Atkins.
Just one from each group.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah, it's one from each of the groups. Do you have any other nominations? Councillor Mahmood? Councillor Hanif? Yeah, that's fine. You've been nominated. Councillor Sutcliffe? Thank you. Got reform. Lib Dems? Thank you very much. And
well, Mr Mayor.
thank you very much. We've got everyone. Thank you. Next is Pendle Twinning Association. Oh, I've done that before. Doing it again. That's fine. Thank you. That's done. Appointment to representatives. Next, let's track. Next we've got is member champions for 26-27. We've got one vacancy here for older people. Who wants to be the champion, member champion for older people? I'm sure someone wants to do it.
Would possibly, I know it doesn't look that old, but would Councillor Waddington consider it being a middle-aged man?
Okay. Any other nominations? No? Okay. So Councillor Waddington there is. Are we happy with the other ones? Yeah? On the list? Councillor Mahmood?
With the health and well-being, can I nominate Councillor Zafar Ali? And for young people's...
Sorry, we can't hear.
So for health and well-being, Zafar Ali. And for young people, Faraz Ahmed.
Is there a seconder? I'll second that. Yeah. Any other nominations? No. Okay. We'll go to the vote. All those in favour of the proposal by Councillor Mahmood? Anybody against? No. So that's carried. Item 15, review of the Constitution. The report is as attached. Come in. Does anyone want to come in? Billy?
Yeah, Mr Mayor, thank you, Mr Mayor. I mean, just got to pause one, I'm not sure.
That's fine.
Accepted, but just in relation to the Constitution and the Executive, I've got two things. First one is that councillors who are not members of the Executive can submit a question no later than 3 working days before the meeting on any item on the agenda. And the second one is councillors who are not members of the Executive may not otherwise speak at the meeting of the Executive without permission from the Chairman.
Okay, is there a seconder for what the leader has proposed? Councillor Ali? Yeah, thank you, that's been moved and seconded. Councillor Whip?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just in the spirit of coming to a consensus at tonight's meeting, I have to disagree with requiring the notice. However, as a compromise, I would like to suggest that non-executive members may only speak once per item. And that's just in the interests of well-proceeding meetings on time, which respects, you know, the members of the public in attendance and the people taking part in those meetings. I think that requiring a notice for each item is too restrictive, and I think requiring the Chair's permission to speak for non-executive members is also too restrictive. However, I do think that, you know, to have an efficient order of business, it is appropriate to limit, you know, once per item, a provision to speak and to make the point known. And I think that is fair for all involved. So I'll move that as an amendment and hope with support that that is agreed as a compromise on this position. Thank you.
Yeah. Will the leader accept that friendly amendment? Okay, so that's been accepted by Councillor Mahmood. Councillor Sutcliffe?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I don't agree with either of these proposals, actually, well, the amendments that's been accepted. Attendance at the exec is essential for scrutiny of the things that we're presented with on the agenda. And whenever members that are not on the executive committee attend, they do so with an intense interest and a scrutiny eye to see what's happening and try and get answers and questions and try and shape the policy before them. I think it's incredibly important that we are given the chance to speak. Now, I understand what you mean in terms of order of business and keeping things moving, Councillor Whip, but I think that when you're sat there and listening to the debate and things move on, it is important to be able to come back and answer and ask questions when pertinent. Once is not enough, and it's always been the case that the chair has allowed people to speak or not, when it's relevant, and I think that they can see from the chair's point of view whether it is somebody who really wants to speak because they've got vital information that may be important to that item on the agenda. So I would really like you to withdraw that in some way. I'd like to move an amendment that it remains at the chair's discretion, that anybody can speak according to the chair's discretion. So I'll move it as an amendment.
I'll second that, Chair. Is that an amendment?
Thank you. That's an amendment. Okay.
I think that's very reasonable, Chair. I think that obviously Councillor Sutcliffe and yourself, Mr Mayor, attended quite a lot of these executive meetings. You've got the experience, and I think to limit to one question when there might be reasonable questions, I think it's unfair. So I would happily second Councillor Sutcliffe.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else want to speak? No? Okay. Councillor Iqbal?
Mr Mayor, Councillor Sutcliffe maybe has a short memory.
Sorry. You're speaking on the amendment.
I am.
Yeah, fine. Sorry. If it's easy, Councillor, stay seated.
That's very kind of you, Mr Mayor.
Yeah,
thank you.
Stay seated.
Mr Mayor, clearly Councillor Sutcliffe has a very short memory because when he was in another role, in a previous role somewhere else, his group implemented it and said that to ensure the smooth running of the council at that time, that it was limited to one question per item per councillor that's not on the executive. He talks about scrutiny. There's a scrutiny management committee and the scrutiny element and the call-in procedure, that if he or his group are not happy with a particular decision, they can be constructive in terms of the scrutiny element, and I think the executive would welcome that challenge and conversation. But what's tended to happen at the executive meetings that I've seen is that there are certain councillors that just come and hog the meeting, grandstanding for the sake of grandstanding. So I would urge colleagues to vote against the amendment.
Okay. So, anybody else? Any other speakers? No. So we've got an amendment on the table, which has been moved and seconded. So we'll take Councillor Sutcliffe's amendment first. All those in favour of the amendment, please show. How many do we have? I'll have to count. Okay. It's got to be close. 14 against. 15, 16. So the amendment is lost. So we go back to the original motion. So all those in favour of the original motion, please show.
How many?
17. Okay, all those against? So that's carried. Okay. Next, we've got item 16, notices on motion, which is, so the first one is East Lancashire Safer, Greener, Healthier Streets programme and Accessible Nelson projects, a waste of money. The mover is Councillor Yasser Iqbal.
Councillor Coburn Prices go. They normally don't like motions like these, but anyway. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Firstly, can I congratulate you again on your elevation as the Mayor. Mr. Mayor, obviously I've moved the motion, which is at 16A. There's an old saying, Mr. Mayor, which is don't fix something which isn't broken. This scheme, in my view, is an utter waste of money. Nobody, certainly not residents, have asked for this, not businesses, all these projects that are being implemented. Instead of fixing the potholes, the state of our roads, the government is obsessed with schemes such as this, where widening pavements and making roads narrower. The irony, Mr. Mayor, is that millions are being spent on these schemes, and as you've seen, 55 million across Burnley, Hyndburn, Pendle and Rosendale, when quite literally there are craters next to these schemes. Potholes, the roads in the worst condition that we've probably ever had. And whose benefit is this scheme being done for, Mr. Mayor? You have to ask yourself. The stated scheme says yes, it's cyclists and pedestrians. Now, I'm all for improving pedestrian and cyclist access and safety, but I invite any councillor to stand for an hour next to these road layouts and count how many cyclists and pedestrians actually use some of these roads that are being dug up. Even if they do use them, Mr. Mayor, it is only a matter of yards that we are back in old territory in terms of the road surface. So you might improve a section. So you've got a cyclist riding across, let's say, for example, Scotland Road. They've made that narrower. There's some lanes. They might use the cycle lane for 100 yards, 200 yards, and then as soon as you go past a certain section, it's back to normal again. So it doesn't make any sense. Now, these schemes might be good for areas where there's a high footfall of people, for example, in the town centres, but some of these are not being done anywhere near the town centres. And whilst you are there, if any councillor does want to stand at any of these sites, just assess for yourself how many cyclists or pedestrians actually use some of these roads. It beggars belief, Mr. Mayor. Then coming on to the next thing, where on earth do you expect people to park? We've seen complaints, pictures online about people parking on some of these wider pavements. So we have spaces which were previously wide enough to park cars on either side, for people to use the public footpath, for cars to go past, all of them very safely. Now you've got narrowing of roads, and what people are doing, and I'm not condoning this, but people are parking on these wider pavements because there's nowhere else to park. Certainly businesses have been complaining. Mr. Mayor, I accept that there was a period of consultation with these schemes. But as most consultations, Mr. Mayor, these are just done as red tape because it's something that has to be done. There might have been wide consultation, but very few people would have attended and probably understood exactly what was happening. Now, this might be difficult, I accept, and a far stretch, but some of these schemes need to be completely halted. I would say actually reversed, but that perhaps is very optimistic. I'll give you an example, Mr. Mayor. There was a scheme, a similar scheme in place in Briarfield. Councillor Naeem Ashraf will remember this when we was part of the Briarfield and Area Committee, where they widened the section near Rightway DIY. We asked as a committee, in the consultation period, look, give us that money, we can use that for other services like potholes. But no, they completely carried on. And to this day, the people of Briarfield are still feeling the impact because the wider pavements has meant more congestion. So instead of easing congestion, these schemes, Mr. Mayor, are making things worse. And I would urge members to support this motion. I know there's a number of amendments. Councillor Iqbal's got one, which I don't oppose, Mr. Mayor, but perhaps being conscious of the time, when Councillor Iqbal puts his amendment forward, as I said, I've indicated to him that I've got no objection to it. Perhaps he suggested that there was delete some of the resolutions I've put forward, but I ask him to consider this, that instead of deleting the motions or resolutions I've put forward, add on his resolutions. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And the seconder for this is Councillor Storm.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and may offer my personal congratulations. You will be an excellent mayor.
Thank you.
Also, congratulations, Councillor Astro. When I was asked to second this motion, I welcomed it with open arms. It's very rare in public life that a project can achieve virtual unanimity. And from knocking on hundreds of doors over the last couple of months, I can attest to the fact that I have not met a single voter, single resident who had anything positive to say about this. I talked to very, very many people. I spoke to cyclists who said to me, well, I don't want to cycle through Nelson on those cycle lanes. They end abruptly. They're badly positioned. I don't think anyone in the cycling community is going to use them. I didn't meet a single person who said, now we've got these massive boulevards, I am going to take my family to walk around Nelson's pavements. It is lamentable that we have this situation. Councillor Iqbal is right, of course, there was a public consultation, but as always with public consultations, it's sometimes difficult for people to engage, let alone envision properly what the practical implementation of this scheme means. And the practical implementation, it seems to me and to many residents, and I can understand their frustrations, the practical implementation of this appears to be an anti-car measure with no real benefit being delivered for anyone else. We even see rat runs being created through residential areas now to avoid some of the roadworks. So, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, but this strikes at the heart of a more fundamental issue, and that is governance. Many residents have also said, well, who dreamt up this scheme? Who can I talk to get it amended? How can we do anything about it? And the truth is that the public consultation does not work properly, clearly has not worked properly. And residents feel, rightly, alienated from this process. They feel estranged from their own town and what's happening to it. So, Mr. Mayor, there are very fundamental problems here. I completely support this motion. It is a sad state of affairs. We need to focus on governance, oversight, and this needs to be reviewed. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Naeem Ashraf? Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations, Mr. Mayor. And obviously, congratulations, you finally qualified for the Champions League as well.
We got there.
I think this, it was a couple of years ago when we had this consultation for the road widening on Halifax Road, Briarfield with Corn Road. And I think it was probably near enough £500,000. And we had a meeting with Lancashire County Council. There was myself, Councillor Yasser Iqbal, Councillor Sajad, Councillor Hanif, the Briarfield and Reedley councillors, and we all objected to this. We all said it's not needed. Traffic is flowing fine on Halifax Road. Traffic is fine on Corn Road. Yes, we're listening. These public consultations, with all due respect, are an absolute waste of time. The officers who make the decision will make the decision no matter what councillors or even residents say. Yeah. At this present time, Mr. Mayor, we have these roadworks going on in Arthur Street, Castle Street, Chapel Street, Commercial Street.
Water Street.
Arthur Street as well. Yeah,
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's all funding. I'm on about consultations here, Councillor Iqbal. What happened was we met these at the library, Briarfield Library, all of us did, all the councillors, and we all gave our views, and we all said they're not needed as what they're actually doing, widening the pavements and everything. And we have two businesses. One business just recently opened probably 8 months ago. Now these roadworks have been going on for over 4 weeks now, and it's been hit that hard, and Councillor Iqbal is aware of this, he's been helping him. He's thinking of actually closing because the foot flow has totally gone, because the roads are blocked from all 4 ways. So people are actually thinking both businesses are closed. So I think, to be quite honest, I've not met one resident, one motorist who is happy in any of these roadworks. So I think, obviously, as Councillor Yasser said, we can't do anything now, but every resident you meet, whether it's on Facebook or even went through these last elections on the doors, we're actually getting the blame for this when we were totally against this, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Iqbal? Mohammed Iqbal.
Mr. Mayor, I'm grateful to Councillor Yasser Iqbal for accepting my friendly amendment, but I'll just make a couple of points. This wasn't a project that was dreamt up either by Pendle Council officers overnight. It's something that's been nearly 3 or 4 years in the making, and I think if there's one lesson to learn for us as Pendle residents and Pendle councillors is that public consultation is crucial, because the original draft master plan that was done, I came to the consultation event and made suggestions in terms of some of the one-way streets that were proposed by the county council and the government, and they were accepted at the time by the cabinet member in charge of transport on the previous county council administration. And since then there's been additional issues raised by businesses and residents, and County Councillor Goldsworthy's been out to Nelson to have a look, and we've got concessions in terms of additional car parking, for example at the bottom of Scotland Road, for those businesses that are affected. But I think consultation is crucial for people to engage with, and I think if nothing else, the message needs to go out that wherever there is consultation, the public need to exercise their right to that consultation, and if the authorities don't listen, then people can criticise. Some of the criticism is valid. I mean, clearly there's gridlock in Nelson at the quietest time of day. But I think some of the work that's going on will help traffic flow, certainly in terms of Whitefield, the one-way streets are going to be changed. In terms of Bradley, some of the streets are going to be changed, the layout's going to be changed. That will benefit people going forward. But I think overall, people are suffering, not only those that live in Nelson or work in Nelson, but those that visit Nelson as well. And clearly their patience needs to be thanked, and that's why I've moved that friendly amendment.
Thank you. Councillor Whip.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. There's an amendment distributed across the room that I put through to Mr. Paul Preston earlier today. Mr. Mayor, I'm in a position looking at this from the outside where I pushed for and oversaw a similar scheme in Barnoldswick public realm that saw the widening of pavements, the reflagging, the increasing the accessibility, and reducing the motoring prevalence in our town centre. And we likewise received the same sort of criticism, and it really did feel for quite a while like the only sentiment out there was those in opposition, saying, why are you doing this? This is a waste of money. Why should we care about this? And it was a difficult time, and I remember there was a lot of people on the town council who, facing the opposition, felt like they should be against after previously endorsing and supporting it. And I'm in the great position now where the town centre, after those changes, blew up in popularity. People have been spending a lot more time in the public realm areas in Barnsley Town Centre. We've had great support from local disabled groups who appreciate the widening of the pavements and the increased accessibility of the town square. And it has been a great success. And I think it is a wider issue overall that schemes like this do attract negative public relations during the construction process, because people are seeing all the negatives without yet seeing the benefits. And, Mr. Mayor, I do believe that in time people will see the benefits of these schemes in Nelson. The other perspective that I see this from is I am someone who at university has done a module in transport engineering, and I myself have seen the studies, the empirical data and the science that backs schemes like these in reducing injury and deaths in local communities. I've seen the great case studies across Europe and Britain and across the world, which, you know, through schemes like this, through incremental progress and listening to communities and co-designing with institutions living there, working there and playing there, like the schools that have co-designed these schemes in Nelson today, that, you know, over time, those incremental benefits are a great boost for communities because they allow people to be outside and socialise in areas without loud traffic, fast cars, etc., etc. Air pollution is a big one. And, I mean, there's studies in the south of England where they've done schemes like this, where they're seeing healthier kids in primary schools because they don't have the fast traffic out of the schools anymore. Fast traffic gives more exhaust, gives more air pollution. And, I mean, there's studies that empirically say, you know, these kids, extra 6 weeks life expectancy, backed up by NHS figures on chronic health conditions with lungs and hearts due to air pollution from cars. So I move this amendment that I've circulated, which I think strengthens the overall support for schemes like this, while also including the criticisms. This council has previously voted for a motion put by Councillor David Whibb previously about inaccessible Nelson. And I think that it is a big shame that Lancashire County Council scheduled these works above the heads of people in Nelson. There should have been proper consultation. In Barnoldswick, the scheme was overseen by both the Area Committee and Barnoldswick Town Council, consulting with shop owners, business owners, to properly schedule the works in a way that provided the least disruption. Whereas Lancashire County Council, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I believe they said, let's do it all at once, because then the disruption is limited to a timescale. And that is wrong, and it didn't consult communities, it didn't work with people there to work in a way that worked for everyone. And of course, you can never work for everyone. There'll always be contention. But I believe in this case, Lancashire County Council didn't fulfil its duties to properly oversee these works in a way that benefited local people. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So that's an amendment. Is there a seconder for the amendment? Or will the amendment be accepted? No. Okay. So we need a seconder, please, for the amendment. No seconder?
Yes.
Oh, all right, Sutherland, sorry. Yeah. So that's been moved and seconded. Okay. So we'll take the amendment first, if there's no other speakers. Yeah. Okay. So all those in favour of the amendment, please show. Against? Yeah, so the amendment is lost. So we go back to the original motion with the friendly amendment from Councillor Mohammed Iqbal. Is that? Yeah.
Can I just clarify that for the sake of, for the avoidance of doubt? So obviously Councillor Iqbal, I think has it gone around? I'm not sure, yeah, it has gone around. So what I'm accepting is that what Councillor Iqbal has suggested, but the resolutions that he's put forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and are in addition to what my resolutions are, rather than, because he was suggesting a replacement, so I've accepted that that's in addition to rather than a replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that understood?
I think that's just for the sake of clarity.
And agreed, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's
Councillor
agreed.
Iqbal.
Yes, that's agreed by Councillor Iqbal.
That's agreed.
So, Chair, I think I've got the last say in this,
Yes, sure.
Mr Mayor, sorry, if I may, very briefly. It's been an interesting debate, Chair, and one of the key things is about consultation. Councillor Ashraf makes a very valid point that me and him actually attended one of the consultations, and the problem, I'm looking at another one, I think it wasn't this scheme, similar scheme in Colne. When you look at the minutes, there's about 12 people that attended. Now, it might be wide public consultation, but it needs to be wider, and Councillor Lola Witt makes a valid point. It should be area committees, should be all the local representatives, the councillors individually, because that is proper consultation. And like Councillor Ashraf said, the difficulty we have is that officers usually make the decision before, if not officers, somewhere, some others, the architects or whatever, have designed it and said, look, this is what we want. Open it for a consultation. How many times have we seen, very few in my experience, where you suggest an alternative or an amendment and it actually gets accepted because it doesn't go with their scheme? So that's the thing about consultation, Mr Mayor. We obviously welcome some form of development, but if the money or the scheme is making life difficult, and Councillor Lola Witt makes the point that actually, well, give it time and it'll improve. We are living with the system as it is, and I can tell you that it might work in Barnoldswick, and obviously each area is different. So this might have worked. I know that there are different parts of the country. I think Essex is one of them, which is benefiting from, I say benefiting from, having the use of this kind of money. But it works in different areas. It doesn't work, in my view, Mr Mayor, in this area, where actually pedestrian safety is going to get even worse because the roads are narrower, the sight for drivers is less clear and narrower. And I think this is a scheme which completely, as I said, needs to be halted if we can. Complete and utter waste of money, a complete and utter waste of time. And therefore, I accept Councillor Iqbal's amendment, and I ask the councillors to accept.
Okay. We'll go to the vote then. All those in favour of the motion, please show. Okay. Against? That's carried. Okay, thank you. B, tackling disruptive roadworks in Pendle. Councillor Yasser Iqbal.
Again, this is linked to the first one, actually, Mr Mayor. I've been coming to these meetings for, obviously we've always had it in Nelson Town Hall. Today, Mr Mayor, I don't come very far from here. I've had to put the sat-nav on just to make sure that I don't get stuck in traffic, and I can use three or four different ways to get here. And it's gridlocked in every single direction. So you start from the edge of Pendle, where I represent Reedley. That was dug up yesterday near Caston Avenue. Now it's carried on onto Colne Road, and then it's, as you enter Nelson, there's about 3 or 4 different sites, again dug up. These disruptive schemes, Mr Mayor, have been going on throughout the summer. And we were told in the summer that, look, these are schemes just being done, or in the winter, sorry. They were being done because it's less traffic. But it seems to get worse and worse, Mr Mayor, quite literally every month. And anyone that travels back to any part of Pendle, so whether you go back to Briarfield, you go back to Barnoldswick, you go back to Colne, AB, I can more or less guarantee any route that you take back, you will have some form of roadworks. The difficulty we have is, and people often complain about this, we go past these projects, nothing's ever been done. So what I'm suggesting, Mr Mayor, is that a scheme which I came across, which is being adopted in different parts of the country, which is to charge up to £2,500 per day for roadworks that overrun or create significant disruption on traffic-sensitive routes. That's one of the resolutions. I'm not going to read out every single one. But something needs to be done with these utility companies, because they seem to come quite literally every other week, every other month, dig it up and move on. No care for residents, no care for traffic, no care for timing. So you'd think that some of these schemes would be done when kids are off school. Absolutely not. That's not something that seems that they consider. So something drastic needs to be done. I know that the Lancashire County Council, obviously Pendle doesn't have control of that itself. We don't have the gift to charge £2,500 or whatever it might be. It has to be LCC. So I am urging through this council, LCC, to adopt this scheme. LCC has been considering this, but they haven't actually implemented this scheme. So it's gone for consultation. They're observing. I think one of my colleagues suggested actually that this already been adopted. I don't think it has, because I've checked with this council, checked with LCC. I think one of the LCC councillors is nodding, so she obviously is familiar with that. But we need to encourage that LCC, and it might be the new authority which adopts the position. But if we can lay the groundwork, no pun intended, for LCC to at least make a start with the initiative with the support of this council, and I can guarantee you every single council under LCC will support this, because it's not just Pendle, it's across the borough. So, Mr Mayor, I move the motion as set out.
Thank you. Councillor Naim Ashraf?
Yes, Mr Mayor. I'm happy to second this. I'm not going to talk much on this, but there's been times where during the week, especially in the mornings, 9, 10 o'clock, especially in my ward in Briarfield, where everything's being dug up, there's never been anybody there working. Other day, all day there was nobody from Lancashire County Council actually working. So that's another day gone down the drain, and it's just costing. So I think this should be adopted, and we'll obviously it'll go to county now, and obviously we've got our colleague here, County Councillor Iqbal, and obviously other county councillors as well. So hopefully this gets adopted. So I'm happy to second this, Mr Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councillor Lord?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. My observation of this was this evening at 5 o'clock when Councillor Church picked me up, coming down from the Skipton Building Society. Traffic on Albert Road is bad enough every day. It is absolutely gridlocked. So we went a few hundred yards. I think it took us 15 minutes. And when we got to the temporary lights, they were only letting 3 cars through each time they changed. Once 3 cars had gone through, turned to red again. What is all that about? It was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. And like I said, you know, and then on the end of the motorway, on Barbary Way, and that was way down to past Boundary Mill, wasn't it? With traffic just at a standstill. It's usually bad on there anyway, but it was carnage, absolute carnage. I don't know what the lane. I do know that the big yellow pipes, so I'm not sure if anybody knows. And whatever it is, I know the job has to be done. But it just doesn't seem well planned at all. Chaos. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Sutcliffe?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. When I was the County Councillor for Pendle Central, I moved a motion at the County Council about temporary traffic lights and about fining utility companies for overrunning their works. And it shocked me to discover that on a weekend or a bank holiday, they can't be fined. And that seems absurd, because you just want works to be completed. Now, in Colne, as Dorothy Lord, Councillor Lord, tells us they're currently doing some roadworks which are all to do with the gas main. But anybody who travels through Colne or lives in Colne knows that the water main that runs all the way up Burnley Road just decides to burst whenever it feels like it, and it feels like it's every other week. So it's something that absolutely frustrates us in Colne as residents, and that's why I wanted to move that motion. Now, in terms of the motion that's in front of us, I really wanted to support it, but I don't think that I can. And that's for the reason that I've got a little bit of knowledge, and I'm scraping my brain because it's a few years ago when I was reading about lane rental and Lancashire County Council's approach to this. And I believe that the reason that it's never been implemented is because of the high cost. And It's to do with the fact that Lancashire County Council would have to charge themselves to rent their own lanes back. So if they ever needed to do any roadworks to repair a pothole or anything like that, then they would have to charge themselves the work. And then in order to do so, they'd also have to train special staff to run the lane rental scheme. So on balance of all things, they don't actually end up bringing any money in. So if you'd have been looking at fines, for overstaying or anything like that, I would happily have supported this. So I'm not going against this. I think it's a well-meaning motion, but actually the things that are set out, I would want. If I can't even offer an amendment because I want to change it too much in terms of what it is. But principle, great, well done. I think it's really well-meaning, but it's just the things that are being asked are probably going to be unachievable through Lancashire County Council.
Thank you. Any other speakers? No. So we've got motion that's been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please show. Against? No, the motion is carried. Thank you. Next item is C, M65 flooding, and this is to be moved by Councillor Brian Newman.
Thank you. So, right, everybody knows that live around here or even come from the way. The problems we have with the M65, we do have flooding, we do have accidents, but I would like to ask the leader of the council to ask Highways England, who actually own most of the 65, except for the section that Lancashire County Council own. That Highways England would take this over from Lancashire County Council and repair and resolve the problems of the M65. Thank you.
Thank you. Seconder is Councillor Land.
Council welcomes the emergency work carried out on the M65 in Pendle following the resolution about flooding at our last meeting, but notes that Lancashire County Council estimates that a full solution to flooding and other issues will cost 15 million. Council also notes that the government is inviting bids to a structures fund for highway work, but that reform-led LCC has not indicated it would apply. Council resolves to request Lancashire County Council to submit a bid for work on the M65 for the structures funding, and that the MPs representing Pendle are requested to support the bid. This work, something absolutely needs to be done. That section of the motorway is so bad. I drive on there regularly, and especially at night, when there's flooding on there, you cannot see it because there's no light there, there's no reflection of the water, and even people who actually know that there's flooding there can't tell exactly where it's going to be. So people that drive on there that are new to the motorway haven't a chance. I've seen so many, I've passed so many vehicle collisions at the side of the road just because of that. And if there's any way that we can get money towards it, I think the Lancashire County Council should be looking for that. Thank you. I second.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other speakers? Councillor Witt.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillor Brian Newman brings up a great point that the M65 currently is under LCC and not Highways England, which is a highly unusual situation. And I think this council and looking to the new unitary, whatever form that will be lumped with this last leg of the motorway that no other unitary in Lancashire will have to deal with. And the residents of Pendle will be saddled with the cost of this, above and beyond any other unitary being created. So I think it's right that along with this, we do include a request to the government and the relevant MPs, Secretaries of State in this area, to have this stretch of the motorway transferred to Highways England, and that we see, you know, a proper equity among the new unitaries being created, because I think it would be incredibly unfair
for whatever unitary we fall under after Pendle Council, for us to be straddled with the costs of this end of the motorway. That was itself just, I think, a petty political project at the time to win votes, but will result in a revenue cost to the new unitary authority that would just be above and beyond anything that any other unitary in the country is saddled with. I think in moving this motion, Brian said that. I'd just like to be clear: is that the intention to add that to the motion as moved? Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else? No. Okay. Oh, sorry. Apologies, Councillor McCullough.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'd just like to draw your attention to the Structures Fund. So it was announced at our LCC AGM this afternoon that we do not meet the criteria for the Labour Government Structure Fund at all. And in fact, no project in Lancashire meets the criteria, so we cannot even apply for that. I just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you. Councillor Mahmood.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, this morning going to work, I think there was quite a serious accident in those locations that we're talking about, and we have been talking about for the last couple of years. And there is going to be a very serious fatality if action is not taken. I think it needs some urgent further emergency works to deal with this situation and the dangers of the motorway there. And also, I think it makes sense, with the new unitaries coming in, that we explore transfer of this section of the motorway with to Harvey's England. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Against? No, so that's carried. Thank you. D, make votes matter. So this is to moved by Councillor Whip.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Council notes that first past the post voting has had its day. Elections should grant everyone a vote that matters, but ours deprive most of us of a representative of our choosing. With 5 parties, sometimes more with independents, polling strongly across the country and indeed in Pendle, our voting system is delivering chaos and turning elections into a lottery, where few people get what they want. It simply can't cope with the multi-party politics we have in the UK. Council also notes with concern reports of voters receiving their postal votes late and people being turned away due to presenting photo ID that is not accepted under the government's voter ID rules. Council believes that voting should be accessible and effortless to allow anyone to exercise their right to vote without hindrance, and that even one voter turned away due to quote-unquote inadequate ID is one too many. 16,000 people were turned away from the polling station in the 2024 general election, while levels of impersonation have always been extremely low. There were only 10 convictions between 2019 and 2023 out of tens of millions of votes cast. Mr. Mayor, I'm aware of one person in Pendle who on their way home from work tried to vote and had an ID with a photo on it, working, I can't remember who was he working for. Probably shouldn't say. But this was at 9:30 and he didn't have time to get home to get a different ID to come back. And his vote wasn't cast because he was turned away because of this. In Pendle, we were a pilot scheme for voter ID, invited by the previous Conservative administration, and the Conservative government implemented it across the country, and it was wrong. It targets people from minority backgrounds, people without good funds. I mean, I personally know people, because of being born into poverty, who don't have a driver's licence, don't have a passport, and a lot of pensioners do not have any ID whatsoever. So, Mr. Mayor, I'll just continue reading. The government's representation of the people bill is set to expand the list of acceptable forms of ID and reduce the number of people locked out of voting by the last government's rules. This highly anticipated bill should make significant changes to the scheme to scrap the need for photo ID, and allow common types of non-photographic ID that many voters will have access to, such as bank cards. But I don't believe this is not enough, and I believe Council should not believe this is not enough. We should scrap the requirement and say that a poll card should be enough. It worked before, there was no fraud, virtually no fraud. And it's creating a lot of stress that doesn't need to be in place. This is a democratic it's a right. It's a right for people in this country to vote, and we should respect it as such, and not put in barriers that impart on people this problem that we've been having. Therefore, Council resolves to write to Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Samantha Dixon MP, which is the Parliamentary Under Secretary for State for all that, and Jonathan Hinton MP and the other Pendle MP, to demand an end to this broken system and ask that the government adopt proportional representation in our elections, so that every vote counts equally at every election, and to put an end to voter ID requirements to restore people's right to vote. Additionally, Mr Mayor, we've received reports of some people not getting the postal votes on time, with delays with Royal Mail, and I'm not saying people have missed out on their chance to vote because of this, but I think it should be understood, and if it has been a problem, that the appropriate action is taken with Royal Mail to ensure it doesn't happen again. And especially in West Craven, we're having massive issues with post that's been late. So therefore, second resolution, investigate and report on delayed postal votes and electors due to turned away due to improper ID. I move, Mr Mayor.
Councillor David Hartley.
Yes, I'm happy to second this motion. As you say, things are moving on in various places. Wales and Scotland have proportional representation. Wales, you can even vote at 16. So it would be interesting to see what comes from there. I really just want to touch then on the Royal Mail. We all know that the Royal Mail in this area really isn't performing and are letting the public down greatly. I've had 2 deliveries in 3 weeks, so we know it's not on. But I'd also like to welcome our new members here, and especially Councillor Glenn Whittaker, who won by 7 votes. And I think maybe if the postal have got things, it might have just been might be a few more votes for yourself. Yeah. So I'm not. Glenn and I go back a very long way. We grew up together. We were in Scouts together. We were in everything together. So yeah, it's nice to see you back in the chamber, Glenn. So yeah, I'm quite happy to second this motion.
Thank you. Any other speakers? No. Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Against? Oh. Yeah, I think it's carried, isn't it? We need to count them. Yeah.
Do it again, please.
Yeah, so sorry, can we go back? All those in favour, please show. Against?
Okay.
I think we're all right. That's carried. Thank you. Item E is Councillor Chris Church.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. We've all sat for a long time tonight rejoicing in the matters of Pendle, so I'll be very brief in asking us to look a little wider just for a few moments. Council notes with grave concern the expansion of NHS contracts to Palantir and the sharing of private health data without patient consent. Palantir is a US software company whose tools are currently used by the Israeli military as they commit genocide against Palestinians in occupied Gaza. Palantir also supplies ICE with tools that are used to track and survey citizens of migrants in the US.
This had a large contract with the UK for a while, but only a few days ago this has now been extended to give unlimited access to identifiable patient data. And by identifiable, that means unanonymised, and I have been practicing pronouncing that all week. I can only add that this latest move has, further notes, been met with the same response from everyone from the British Medical Journal to Amnesty International, as well as party leaders and MPs across the House and many more. Apart from the removal of the two names which are now outdated, I move.
Thank you very much. Seconder, Councillor B. Hartley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to second Councillor Church's movement on this. But I would also like to say thank you to the NHS staff members who have spoken out about this. There's a lot of them opposing it and they've been threatened with being sacked. I think it's very important that, you know, as our rights to privacy within our medical records, that we resolve to write to the MP Secretary of State for Health and Social Care and also Pendle's MP to demand that the government, first and foremost, end the involvement in the NHS as soon as possible and not award them any more contracts. And secondly, to consult on alternatives which respect patients and protects our public NHS. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other speakers? Councillor Iqbal.
Mr. Mayor, very briefly on this, Mr. Mayor, I wholeheartedly support Councillor Church and Councillor Hartley's motion. Palantir is a company that I think many people would have heard of. And it's right, and I commend both Councillor Church and Councillor Hartley for bringing this motion in mentioning that this company has involvement with the IDF, the Israeli Defence Force. And the genocide that's been committed is there to be seen by everybody. Now, any company, whether it's a software company, whatever they are, on the one hand is supporting a genocide, and on the other hand is supporting an organisation in this country which all of us love. I don't think that's a contested statement that the NHS is somebody that everyone supports. On the one hand, you've got a killing machine, quite literally. On the other hand, that same company is supplying data, software, whatever it is, for the NHS. And now, in my view, that company simply can't be trusted. So I wholeheartedly support this motion, and I thank both Councillor Church and Councillor Hartley. And I think this is Councillor Hartley's maiden speech in this chamber, I think. If it's not, maybe not. But certainly it's one I remember because this is a very eloquently said, and again, I commend her as well for bringing second in this.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the vote. Councillor Whipson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wonder if we should add something to this motion to support the people who in Pendle who are affected by this, to remove their consent to having their data shared. It's an incredibly complicated process. There are guides out there, but if you are a carer or if you are a parent, then just to scrap the consent to have this data shared with this abhorrent company, there's 3 separate processes to go through, and it's quite overwhelming and also very difficult to find out how, because that information is not freely shared on the NHS websites. So I wonder if Pendle Council could share a resource on Facebook, for example, with a link to a guide on how to revoke consent for their personal data to be used in this way. I'm unsure if that is legal. There are guides out there by charity organisations who advocate for patients' rights. And I do believe it's in every councillor's interest here to raise awareness for this. Because people in our community, their privacy is being stripped away. And, I mean, Palantir is saying they won't use it for anything else other than developing this. But time and again, US companies have shown that they do not care about our data rights. And they will just store that data without telling anyone they've done it and use it against people. And all it takes is one government in the future or even just, I don't know, a techno-feudal god king of the US, a billionaire who owns, a social network, for example, to secretly buy this data and use it to target people in a way that is so detrimental to civic rights. I mean, this is the scariest thing that I've ever encountered in my time as a councillor. NHS data is the most valuable patient data set in the world. No other country has this amount of patient data accessible and categorised in the way that the NHS does. And it has been sold off. In fact, it hasn't even been sold off. 330 million quid. We're paying them to take it. And all for the promise that we can buy it back. We can buy the tools back they're making with this. Why can't the government hire some AI developers to do this for the NHS? We could have a sovereign, British-owned organisation working for the NHS, under the NHS, that instead of fleecing us dry for our taxpayer money, that just delivers what Palantir promises in a way that reserves patients' rights and won't lock us into a contract forever and a day that we can't ever think of even leaving because they're the only company on earth who have developed the tools that they're making. I mean, it's basically asking, please Palantir, make a monopoly on the way our NHS runs and we'll be indebted to you for the rest of our lives. Because once they make these tools with our data, they don't need to respect any amount of contract because they'll be the only person that can bid. We'll just pay as much as they ask for. And West Streeting is corrupt, it's been bought out, and I think absolutely we shouldn't allow this to pass. So I do ask, Mr. Langton, is it acceptable that we share some charity instructions for how people can opt out of consenting to their data being used like this?
Yes. Yeah, thank you. I think the advice I've been given is if you add on that we consider that request, what you've said, because we just look at the consequences if we do that and the implications. So if we can add that on as a look into it, and then we'll see if we can do anything. Yeah, is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. Thank you. If there are no other speakers, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Against? Oh, that's carried. Long meeting. So the final motion is Cooperative Development Network. That's to be moved by Councillor Whip.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Council notes the success of the Preston model in developing a local cooperative economy by putting local residents and businesses first, and the Council's resolution to become a cooperative council in March. Part of Preston's strategy is a development network to assist the formation, conversion and running of cooperatives and act as a platform for local knowledge sharing. Pendle is proud to host excellent cooperatives already operating in the borough, in situ in Briarfields, Trawden Forest Community Centre and Shop, the various cooperative foods and cooperative funeral care, among others. Mr. Mayor, I think it's important of note that in Reedley, Pendle is the proud host of one of the last remaining, in fact the last remaining, friendly society buildings in Britain. And Reedley Parish Council very proudly hosts this on its website, extolling that historic value. There's a long history of cooperativism with Lancashire. It was developed in Rochdale, Manchester, just down the road. And the Preston model shows that developing a cooperative economy locally with anchor institutions like the council, like local schools and hospitals, by having procurement rules that say we prioritise local commerce, we prioritise, and in fact we've just passed earlier the change to the social value provision in our constitution. But by prioritising cooperatives and ensuring that we can buy things locally, by even creating cooperatives where that chain isn't there, we can redirect purchasing power away from international corporations to local business owners, local people, and ensure that the wealth that this borough generates stays in Pendle and isn't extracted abroad or to London or to anyone who doesn't care about Pendle and doesn't look to invest in Pendle. And I think that's so important. And it's therefore that this council recognises the benefits of community, resident, customer and worker-controlled businesses, housing and services for community resilience, and the need to establish parallel systems to private companies that ensure investments and profits are redirected back into Pendle for the benefit of all of us. The establishment of a cooperative development network with full or part-time staff would be a legacy that Pendle Borough Council would leave to our local economy, alongside the projects funded by the Legacy Fund established by the Council previously. Council therefore resolves to establish in principle a Pendle cooperative network aiming to support new and existing cooperatives, CICs and other various forms of non-profits, with a report to the Executive on the potential financial and governance arrangements. And two, to engage with Cooperatives UK, the Cooperative Bank and Town and Village Councils on working jointly to grow the network. Mr Mayor, I envision at the next Executive, should this motion pass, that we establish a cooperative working group and invite co-optees, one from each of the cooperatives that exist locally, in developing this. We need to operate on a system of consent, and we're really asking them to work together with us and with themselves to better reinforce the values that they hold dear, that we as a council should be holding dear with passing the Cooperative Council Innovation Network membership last time. I think this is a great opportunity to show to the people of Pendle that we mean business when it comes to developing the local economy, that we want to support people locally in starting up small businesses, in developing ideas that they have for how things could be made locally. We've got a proud tradition in Pendle of local manufacturing. We're one of the best areas in the UK that's retained its local industry. And I think we really need to incubate it and help it grow sustainably and resiliently in a global economy which is increasingly looking more and more precarious. We've got the war in Iran, the genocide in Gaza. The US and Israel seem to be going to war with the entirety of the Middle East. And oil shipments stopping up. And I think it's only going to get more difficult as time progresses and as global supply chains get interrupted. Global shipping is going to start struggling with the decrease in oil supplies. And I think it's really important that we develop a culture of buying local, procuring local, and supporting local, in forming relationships with each other. Mr Mayor, I move.
Mahmood?
Mr Mayor, I totally agree in principle of the Co-op Council, which can play an important role in bringing people together and ensuring that everyone has a voice. And it creates opportunities for cooperation, shared decision-making and community involvement. And you can build on a system where people come together to improve lives of others. And I think it's crucial that we do set up a working group that explores all the best practices that are out there. I think Preston has been mentioned, and it's probably one of the like a good role model for developing a co-op council. And it's really important that we bring all the local communities and businesses, especially the town and parish councils, together, who could potentially further down the line take ownership of some of these, the programs that and the initiatives that kind of come out of this working group and the co-op council side of things. And I think it can be a huge benefit, motion of the teamwork responsibility, and fully support that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other speakers? Oh, Councillor Hawley, sorry.
Yep. No. Okay, yeah. I'd like to back everything that's been saying. However, there's another thing here. Just because the people have co-op in front of their name doesn't mean they're interested in the local community. You've got Co-op Funeral Care here. Co-op Funeral Care is the UK's biggest funeral operator, and they up their prices every year. They own, nothing is done locally, and they're hiding under the co-op badge, and all they're interested in is driving the price of funerals through the roof and hitting people at their vulnerable time as they come through a door, not knowing what to do. So we just have to be careful.
Councillor Hartley,
Yeah.
just I've been given advice that because you're a funeral director, you may need to just declare an interest.
No, but
yeah, just declare an interest.
But I must say that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying,
just in case, just for your own
just be
protection.
careful.
That's all.
But I'm just saying we just need to be careful.
Yeah.
Just by people having co-op in front of the name doesn't mean that they're with the local community.
Thank you. Any other speakers? No. Okay, we'll go to... Councillor Wick.
Just in right of reply, Mr. Mayor. I agree. We should be critical, and we should, properly diagnose the state of affairs of anyone looking to join such a working group. I think, in the interest of cooperation, an open invitation to those groups is important, and obviously. If there is criticisms to be had, let them be had. I mean, my understanding is the Co-op Funeral Care is under the Co-op group. It is consumer-owned. Anyone can become a member, and they have one member, one vote rights in that business. Though I can understand that, I think the declaration of interest is quite a point there. So I do invite the criticism. I think we should be properly being. We're in public office here. We can't support businesses that don't support our vision for Pendle, and I think it's important that we have those open conversations with each other to ensure that we are doing the right thing.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Against? The motion is carried. And that's the end of the meeting. Thank you, councillors, for your cooperation. Have a safe evening. Thank you. Thank you.